micdup.
Highlights from Lowlifes. Highlights from Lowlifes.
Hey, thanks for joining us on Highlights from Lowlifes. Tonight, I don't want anybody to adjust their screen. There is nothing wrong with Marty's jersey that
Nothing at all.
Flames wouldn't help out with. I'm not sure what happened there, but that is the Reno Aces Tweety Bird jersey, or what is that?
What is it? Warner Brothers, right? All Warner
All
Brothers
the Warner
characters.
Brothers
There's
characters
Daffy
on
Duck
one
and
jersey.
It's
Yes.
there's Daffy Duck and
there's a bit of a glare.
that's the female Bugs Bunny, whoever her name is.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Well,
Right. Sure.
Again,
Sure. You got it. You got it all right.
I will wait
Okay.
till if anybody should sign in asking you to turn your camera off, we can probably arrange for that. So, welcome to the show.
Something squirrely around here.
There we go.
We have back from his European travels, Mr. Lannerman, and Terry joins us again with his sheet of uncut baseball cards behind him. Can't figure out the year, too far away. But that is our theme for tonight's show. We are going to talk about the favorite players of our youth and or baseball cards of our youth. So why don't we get started? Robbie, why don't you start us off?
I have a very obscure one. I basically went with cards that I always liked, and these aren't necessarily my all-time favorite cards, but they're cards that I just somehow always stuck with me. This first one, there was something about the 1970 set. If any of you follow baseball cards, it was the gray border set. It was very simple, very clean, but it's always been one that's attracted me. And there's one guy, I think he only played 2 years in the major leagues, but the colors absolutely popped off of this card. It's a Jose Martinez. He was a backup infielder for the Pirates, but it's the old Forbes Field. You've got the blue tarp, the black and yellow and white uniform that they wore, and just I don't know, something about that card always struck me. Just the way the pose was, and the again the colors just pop right off of that card, and that's just been ingrained in my memory forever. So he may have only played in 2 years in the major leagues, but he's in my heart for all time. Jose Martinez.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
The 1970 set was the first set that I collected.
Right.
The gray borders were kind of nice. They got away from the white that they used on several of the other years.
Right.
And I remember that picture there of Jose Martinez. Back in the day, there was only a few photographers for baseball cards, and they did most of the pictures at spring training. So I'm guessing that was a spring training.
That was actually, it's Forbes Field.
Is it?
You could tell by the scoreboard in the background. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Cool.
But yeah, you're right. They did a lot of, and then weirdly in the mid 70s, they did a lot of pictures in San Francisco at Candlestick.
Because one of the
photographers
lived here.
were there.
So as the teams came through, they get them here.
Yep.
So, yep. Well, Rob, why don't you go next then?
All right. Robbie and I have brought up a book that we really liked. He's going to show you. No, is that the right one? I have the hardback.
You have the hardback. The hardback can't travel with you to Spain.
It's called the Great American Baseball Card Flipping, Trading, and Bubblegum Book by Brendan C. Boyd and Fred C. Harris.
Oh, bubblegum book. That's why the pages are stuck together.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, bubblegum. Right. Okay. Yeah, sure.
So this book was written, I believe, in 1973. And I thought I was just getting a book that would show me pictures of baseball cards, but these guys are absolutely hilarious as they're describing certain players they've seen on cards. Remember, we didn't growing up, we didn't get to see all the baseball games. I mean, if you grew up in the Bay Area, you saw 30 games a year, and there were some teams you never saw. So you'd look at a baseball card, and that was all of the information that you had about a guy. So I thought, when I saw this 1969 card of Aurelio Rodriguez, I go, man, that's a good looking guy. He looks so young. And it turns out Topps Baseball was absolutely duped on this one. That is not Aurelio Rodriguez. Here's the story. The 1969 baseball card of Aurelio Rodriguez is not Aurelio Rodriguez at all, but the Pittsburgh Pirates bat boy wearing the California Angels jersey. This is in the nature of a little joke by Aurelio, who could very easily be mistaken for a bat boy, except that most bat boys could easily out-hit him. And were considered considerably more mature in the bargain. So the story goes, Rodriguez was reprimanded and did not receive his Topps baseball card money that year, which amounted to $500.
Wow. What do they earn nowadays? Do they earn money from those?
Yes, they've always earned money. I don't know what the contracts are today. I know it's considerably more than $500.
Yeah.
But yes, so Aurelio was punished for his wrongdoing, but that baseball card, every time I see it, I start laughing. All right, Marty, what do you got?
I never collected cards. It was never a big thing. I would get the cards for the bubble gum and then use them on the spokes of my bike as a kid, as we all did. So this week is a little challenging for me. So I came up with a few things, but we talked last week about great quotations, and I had the greatest quotation of all, without hands down. Such the fact that the inbox on my computer blew up with both fans responding that they wanted more information about Lou Costello. And so I got some digging around, and sure enough, here's Lou Costello's baseball card. There it is, right
Wow.
there. Okay, all right. Now the information on the back was kind of hard to find, so I did some extra digging around and didn't come up with statistics, but I came up with his scouting report when he tried out with the St. Louis Wolves. So he had about average skills, but was just a tad overweight. He had an issue with name recognition, had issues with authority, and he became agitated when challenged. So these kind of things just didn't work out for him, and he didn't make the team, unfortunately. But there,
it sounds like a company, present company. What were the
Tiger?
What were those? What were the things that you just
He had
mentioned?
problem with name recognition. Who's on first? What's on
we
second?
We can't remember people's names.
Okay, he had an issue with authority. He kept yelling at the manager all the way through the program, and he became agitated when challenged over it. So so anyway, and he went, like you said, he was a tad overweight. So all the best. What the heck? There we go.
And who is?
So,
this
there it is. Lou Costello's
Lou
baseball
Costello.
card. There he is. There you go. So go ahead.
Was that the baseball card from the movie? Who's on, or from the or is this?
Honestly, it was. It came out. What are the? It was the before the premiere. They come up with all the hype and all this, so they came out with a baseball card for him
I see.
before they did the routine in the first movie that they did with that. Yeah. So, Terry, you're up for this round.
All right. So,
Hard to follow, I know, but give it a try.
in the late in the late 60s, I was like 10 to 12 years old and very impressionable. We all were, and our baseball heroes were role models to us. Unlike today's role model, it's not the same. So I this was one of my first cards.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow, that's sharp.
Did you all want to be like? Did you all try pitching like that, and you all fell down or tore a hamstring or something? You stretched something, and you're thinking, "I better stop doing that." Well, we're talking about Juan Marichal. Juan Marichal, right-handed pitcher, 10-time All-Star. He played for the Giants between 1960 and 73. His nickname was the Dominican Dandy. He threw a no-hitter in 63. He's from Dominican Republic. He's in the Hall of Fame in 1983. But he's also, as far as role models go, we try not to follow his way. He got in a huge fight and cracked the Dodger catcher Rosebarrow over the head with his bat.
No.
After he got thrown at. They actually became friends after that, but he had a 2-inch gash that he needed stitches for. Juan Marichal, man, what a great baseball card and player he was.
Excellent man. My first fantasy camp, he had the locker next to me.
Really?
Oh, no kidding?
Super
Oh,
guy,
wow.
yeah.
Man.
Wow, that's
All
really
right.
cool. All right. How about you, Webby?
Let us move on to another round. Tara, who starts?
Webby, you.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right. This guy, these glasses don't do him justice. Let's see. We're looking at Ryan Duran.
Ryan Duran,
Can you
yep.
see him?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ryan Duran. He's wearing sunglasses in this picture, but there's a better description in the book about what is Ryan Duran, and I must read this to you. Ryan Duran was a relief pitcher for the Yankees for 3 years in the late 50s. He was what the sportscasters like to refer to as a fireballing right-hander, a real flamethrower, an aspirin chucker. In other words, he could really bring it. He also annually led the league in bad eyesight. He wore milk bottle thick tinted glasses, and he used to warm up before each inning by throwing a series of particularly nasty overhand fastballs into the ground in front of home plate, over the catcher's head, against the backstop, and into the stands. People didn't know if this was real or fake. But if you're the batter, what do you think? Not exactly the type of behavior likely to instill confidence in the hearts of prospective batters. Unfortunately, like most hard-throwing relief pitchers of the time, his arm began to give out shortly after he learned to control his fastball, and he spent his last few years bouncing around in baseball trying to hang on with a succession of mediocre teams. I have listened to interviews of guys that had to face him, and there was at least 2 guys that asked if they could be pinch hit for. They knew it would be a very, very, very uncomfortable at bat. So
Terrifying.
Ryan Duran.
Yep.
Yes.
Good one.
All right, Marty, what do you got?
You said we're supposed to get the baseball cards from our youth, and I said I didn't have a lot of baseball. So who was the one guy that when I was a kid that I really enjoyed watching, and had a chance to actually see him play in person. And of course, we're talking about the old Seattle Pilots. So I came up with Tommy Harper's card
Oh,
for Tommy Harper was started at San Francisco State, hit 500 throughout his college career at San Francisco State. Was drafted number 2 in the expansion draft to the Mariners. Listen to me, Pilots from the Indians. And in the first game as a pilot, he hit a double against the Angels, became the first pilot ever to get a base hit. But the thing that fascinated me with him was that something I couldn't do, and still can't, and that's run. Because he had the for an expansion team that turned out to be pretty terrible. He had the American League record for 74 stolen bases from that year. So it was always kind of exciting to watch. And that was, and going back, and it says the little note on the baseball reference guide, that was at the time second all-time season stolen bases next to Ty Cobb. So I thought that was pretty impressive. Played went for out to a number of teams. Finally finished with the Orioles in '76, and with a coach with the Yankees and the Red Sox until 2002. So Tommy Harper is my number 4 pick because I think he was a pretty exciting guy to watch when you're 8 years old.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah.
Nice choice.
So Marty, you said that he had something that you don't have, and that's speed, and that you said you still don't have it. Are you expecting it to come on at some point?
Well, my dealer's supposed to be by later on tonight, so I'm hoping to get.
Okay.
So I'm hoping
so
to
you
get a
can
little
buy some speed. I got
get
it.
a little lucky.
My
so,
bad.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. So.
All right. Who's up?
Lanterman.
All right. So in 1973, Topps made a weird decision to throw in some extracurricular cards, so to speak, in their set to just try to expand the set and keep the interest level up with the cards. And I guess as a kid you could relate to the picture, so I always thought it was cool, and it was a player that I really liked at the time. Now looking back on it, I did not realize the celebrity impersonation that this card was able to do. 2 different celebrities impersonated in a single card. So it's from the Boyhood Photos of the Stars series that came out in 1973. Here we have Chris Spire, who
I see.
Oh wow!
auspiciously in his youthful photo looks a lot like Scotty Smalls from The Sandlot, and then evolves into, he looks like he's 16 in the actual player picture, into a grown-up Kelly Leak.
Yeah, sorry, Kelly Leak. Yeah.
This was a very weird series. I mean, Chris Spire was an all-star at the time, and it wasn't like it was Willie Mays and Hank Aaron and all those guys that were in this set. No, it was kind of the borderline guys in these pictures. So it was really funny set, but yeah, somehow looking back at it now, the card is way funnier than it was when I was a kid.
Oh,
So
yeah.
You're
1973.
killing me, Smalls.
Yep. So anyway, yep, and good old Chris Spire. What do you got, Terry?
Well, here's a guy that we all knew and loved. Cincinnati Reds from 1967 to 1983. He's the number 1 all-time catcher according to the Google page that I was looking at. Remember this one?
Oh, is that
Johnny Bench? Yeah.
Oh yeah, 1976.
Man,
Yeah.
76,
this is
right?
all
Okay.
business. Do you remember this card, right? This is one awesome card.
Yep.
Johnny Bench was 14-time All-Star. He played third base and first base as he got older. 2-time MVP. Also, Hall of Fame, 1989. I forgot to mention Juan Marichal, Hall of Fame, 1983. Johnny Bench is my number 4 pick. How about you, Robbie? You got another one? How about? Oh well.
Well,
I think
well,
What's
wait, you
what's
just jumped over the most important part of the show.
Yeah.
we
what?
don't do that. Wait, we don't. God,
Some people.
who's sending the script? Where did you get the script?
The show? Sorry, I jumped the show order.
You know, we missed that last week.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
we tried to imitate the music. It
our
didn't go
club
very well.
music.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Every show now, 133 episodes. We've been sponsored by our good friends at Almanac Brewing, one of America's truly great craft brewers. Delicious beers, lots of flavor, easy to drink or hard to drink. If that's the kind of beer you like, they've got it all. You know, some of you guys drink the flow on the show. Normally, we go around and tell each other what we're drinking, and we'll do that in a second. But they just created a new clean air flow pale ale that's going to be released in the next week or so, and it's going to be out only available through June. And they developed a system that instead of injecting CO2 like everybody
Nitrogen?
else does with all the chemicals and everything, this naturally captures CO2 out of the air, just naturally
Oh,
occurring CO2. And they're using that for this beer. So it's the clean air flow that'll be coming really soon. So I'm going to try to get some samples of that for us to try and talk about on the show. But that should be really interesting and just shows the kind of innovation that they're capable of out there. So I drinking the Hugs Hefeweizen yet again. I got back on this and I forgot just how delicious it is. It looks like Terry is too. I
Well, let me tell you, this is also a CO2 infused. Ah,
it's gonna be noxious acid coming out of you, but
Oh,
nonetheless,
oh,
maybe inert.
could have been the other side.
oh.
Holy crap! What are you guys drinking? Let's get off of this.
Don't say crap.
I'm going with the Seaside. It's a nice little IPA that they've come out with. It's not a full IPA. You got just a hint in the aroma of the hops there, and it goes down real smooth. And it's a nice afternoon here in Reno, Nevada, and it's going down real well. The beer is anyway.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good. I am drinking my favorite, the Love Hazy IPA.
Nice.
The one, the only, the original. This is not the Big Love, the one that kind of knocks you out after one. This is my favorite IPA. It's what I hold all other IPAs to when I'm drinking. And I could go for a case of these, Robbie. Just letting you know. Okay?
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm going to get sours, aren't I?
Yes. Yep.
And how's your CO2 output?
Oh yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks to Almanac for continuing to sponsor the show, and we appreciate it. And looking forward to trying that new interesting beer. But if you get the chance to visit the brewery, highly recommend it. It's a fun place, lots to see and do. You can go with friends. You can, if you have to, you can take your kids. They got a sandbox area and a play area for the kids. They've got old pinball machines, modern pinball machines, a couple of video games. They got a pizza kitchen. They've got a fine food kitchen outside. It's just a fun place, and they will if you talk to them nicely, you can probably get somebody to tour you the brewery. And if you do go by the brewery, make sure you tell them you heard about them from the Highlights from Lowlife show, and they may take pity upon you.
You know what I love
right.
about that place is there's picnic tables all over the outside. It's a great place to go.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
It's
Good place to hang.
it's like an adventure.
Yeah.
Maybe they should call it Adventureland.
Adventureland.
That's
Hey.
gee,
They
that's
ought to
a
look
thought.
into that.
Just saying.
Wow.
They ought to
Wow.
look
I know.
into that.
That
Wow.
is unimaginative.
All right, Tara. You
All right.
finished that round. Who starts this next one?
Let's see. Did I say Robbie? Hey, Robbie.
Okay.
Number 3.
One of my favorite kind of cards over the years were always the one where like the card was of one guy, but there was a bunch of other guys in the picture. And that was always fun to try to identify who was who and all of that stuff. So this may not be my favorite card of that genre, but it's the one I remember the most. So it's the one I had to pull it up. So I guess technically it is my favorite card of that genre. But nonetheless, the 1971 set, much controversial 1971 set, I might add, because it had black borders, which made it easy to chip and ding the side and mark up the card. So it's really hard to find cards in 1971 that are in perfect condition. And you'll see that with this card here. This is good old Bud Harrelson, longtime shortstop for the
Hey.
New York Mets.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's applying a tag to Jim Wynn.
Oh,
Was it the Toy Cannon, I believe was his nickname?
Correct.
So Jim Wynn is sliding into second base with Ken Boswell moving into place to back up the play. And good old number 30 on the mound for the Mets, Nolan Ryan.
that's
Wow.
right. Oh wow.
Is-
Okay.
Is there a?
Who-
Is that a? Is
Who's
that
the
an
umpire?
Is
Yeah.
that an
And the umpire.
Oddly enough, I looked that up today. It's Ken Burkhart, who actually pitched in the major leagues in the 40s.
Wow. Very good. Very good.
Is that an umpire's butt in the way, right in the middle of the whole play?
He's actually in the right position to make the call.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, but
All right.
ruined-
So
he ruined the-
71,
he ruined the photo.
1971, those cards I hated. They were stylish. I like the black, but I hate it. It's the only year in the history of baseball cards that they didn't put the year by year stats on the back of the card.
Right. They had
Oh.
the previous season and career total.
And I go, oh, you can't do that. I need to know where they were in their career. What other teams did they play for and stuff like
Right.
that. So
Yeah.
I think they got yelled at and moved back to the standard card in 72.
But that's what makes them unique, correct?
Yep.
So are they collectible that way? The black ones, the black frame
Oh yeah.
cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun set to try to complete. High numbers are tough.
And it was one of the first sets where on the backside there was also a black and white portrait picture of the player. So you have Bud Harrelson on the front in action, and then the back it had a headshot of him,
Oh,
probably from the media guide or whatever.
not as a
Did-
12-year-old.
Right, exactly.
No.
Can you,
Not a
can you-
boyhood photo of Bud.
Can you put up that picture again?
Oops, that's the
Little side note: Bud Harrelson was my neighbor's cousin.
Oh,
And
cool.
isn't Bud Harrelson from Alameda?
No, that was Chris Spire.
Oh, I think I have to look that
Oh,
up.
okay. It's don't worry. That's fine.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I can get there. It is.
Okay. All right. Oh, well, see, that's pretty cool. The umpire's right there in the middle. I wondered if the call was reviewed by the ABS system.
Interestingly enough,
You know, in the
See,
modern,
all that work for just a bad joke.
in the modern day, they could Photoshop him out of there.
yeah, I actually did look it up because when I was trying to figure out who the umpire was in the card, and I found there's an interesting website dedicated to cards like this, and the story is that they went through box scores and figured out that Jim Wynn only attempted to steal one base against the Mets because this is the 71 card, so the picture was taken in 1970. He only attempted to steal one base in a game in April of 1970, and he was safe on the play.
Wow.
So they drilled it all the way down to like the 8th inning of a game on April 18th, 1970,
Wow.
with Jim Wynn sliding in the base. And they've got that on all these kind of cards like that. So it's pretty cool. I've found a new terrible place to spend my time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how many?
It's
how many?
a great
hours
site
did
if you're single.
How many hours did it take you to get
Or when
home?
your wife enjoys you being in the other room.
How many hours did it take you to get home from Rome?
23.
Oh, good
Oh,
God!
yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, now that we're on the sidebar, I got up at 4 in the morning in Rome, so I start the clock when I get out of bed because that's 20 minutes to get ready and out the door and all of that to get to the airport. But unbeknownst to me at the time, apparently in Europe last weekend when I was there was also daylight savings time changeover, so I lost an hour on top of everything else, which caused a great amount of panic until I remembered your phone automatically changes the time. So, but I was wondering why. Boy, it didn't feel like I got a full 4 hours sleep. So anyway, yeah, let's move off of that. And how about you, Marty?
Okay. Well, again, I'm going to go off on a little side tangent myself. I was given my family, my brother's family, was helping out clean out a house in North Carolina because a member of the distant family passed away, and they came up with a set of old playing cards of old baseball cards that I thought I might get a kick out of, and I thought it was great because I pulled one of them out, and it's um, Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Now, and this is a part of the 1919 Black Sox set, and I asked for Rob's help, and he went to Weir and he pulled it up, and I think the entire set is valued at $5.
$5.
So
yeah.
$5.
it wasn't like, but anyway, but I thought it was so. Here's one, and then I run. Here's another one that's in the set, and it's hard to see in the background, but it's the exact same picture, except this one is on a field with a cornfield behind it,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is right out, which is right out, so that kind of gives that one away. I thought, okay,
Yeah.
all right, whatever. But I do have one more Joe Jackson that I thought is pretty cool that I had it. So this was a top deck old card that I got at Cooperstown of all places. And this was Joe Jackson, number 35 out of the 50 greatest players of all time. So I thought that's a pretty cool card. So that's
Oh, yeah.
Indeed.
yeah.
Very
So
cool card.
so number 3 is Joe Jackson in my. So there we go.
Yeah, go figure. Marty, who lives in Reno, had to play playing cards.
Sorry. Freudian slip, right?
Mhm. All right, Marty, who's up?
I think you are. You have yet to go in this round, don't you?
Oh, okay.
I think
will,
so.
I will.
Okay.
All right. This is one of my favorite cards. It's a 1953 card,
Mm-hmm.
the Satchel Paige.
Ah.
The 53 cards were slightly larger than most baseball cards. And while those are photos on the card, they've been airbrushed. So most of them look like pieces of artwork. It's very cool. Very difficult set to complete and get in good condition.
Retouched, as they say.
Yeah. But Satchel was my favorite because right around that time we were hearing about what kind of a person he was beyond baseball and what some of his favorite sayings. And some of these still apply today. And I wanted to read some of these to you. Avoid fried meats, which angry up the blood. Wow, that's a good
Yep.
one.
Yep.
Number 2, Marty, this is good for you.
Oh,
If
thank
your
you.
stomach disputes you, lie down and pacify it with cool thoughts. Okay.
Me?
Okay.
Angry stomach, eh?
Terry, this one's for you.
All right.
Keep the juices flowing by jangling around gently as you move.
Repeat that, please.
Keep the juices flowing by jangling around gently as you move. Okay.
Does Cass know?
I'll
No,
be.
there are no
Please.
sexual connotations.
Oh,
to
I'm
this.
sorry.
It's just
Okay,
the
sorry.
saying. Okay.
Please
Sorry.
for it now.
Okay, Robbie, this is for you.
I know this one.
Go very lightly on the vices such as carrying on in society. The social ramble ain't restful.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
All right, Marty, this one's for you again.
Oh, okay.
Avoid running at all times.
Done. Can do.
This is Satchel Paige.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this one you all know. Don't look back. Something might be gaining on you.
Right.
So those were some of his great sayings in the Negro Leagues, and then brought over to the Major League Baseball when he appeared with the Indians first, then the St. Louis Browns for a bit, and then if you all remember, he
Finished with the
had
A's.
what they called a stunt game in 1965, where he was just there to sell some tickets
Mhm.
and threw 3 shutout innings against the Red Sox at the age of 40 something.
Yeah.
Quite a spectacle.
Right.
All right. Tara, I think you still have one this round.
I do.
All right.
So, with cards that we loved as kids that we wanted to emulate, who's
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fine.
Again, we would try to do this and throw out a butt muscle or something.
Wait, Tara. Did you try to do that left-handed?
No, as I did it right-handed. I couldn't do it right-handed either. Vida Blue, left-handed pitcher. Oh, he's one of the left-handed pitchers on your list, Webby.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Vida Blue. He's from Louisiana. Played with the A's from 69 to 77. Played with the Giants from 78 to 81. And then 85 and 86 All-Star. He's a 6-time All-Star. 3-time World Series winner. And the All-American League Cy Young Award winner in 1971. Man, and not only was he fun to watch, he was a really nice guy. He's a great guy to us as fantasy campers. And all nice things to say about him. He had a little troubled time there, but what the heck? Still a role model to me, especially as an adult. I was impressed with him. He's a class act.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got to be his personal driver for a week in Arizona. That was interesting.
Wow. I bet.
Oh, he was a humble guy. He really was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Appreciative, humble, fun, talkative.
All right, we are done with 3 rounds. Let's go ahead and do round 2.
All right. Hey,
Tara.
hey, Marty, you go ahead.
Okay. The last 2 rounds are going to be a little more literally on the personal side. And this card, I got it from the family, and I'm sure it's a reproduction. But remember when these things came in the 1903? These things came out so small.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Cracker Jack cards.
Yeah, exactly. It was the Cracker Jack cards.
Really, Marty? You remember those?
Sure, of course. And who is that? No, none other than 3 Fingers Mordecai Brown. So in his honor, 3 Fingers. Here we go. Thank you very much. Duet. Like I said, he hit 3 fingers because he lost 2. Partially lost 2 in a farm accident. In his youth in 1888, which made that perfect for that knuckleball and a knuckle curve and a curveball. And we all know about him. He's in the Hall of Fame. Was in the Hall of Fame 49. 6 20-game winner with a career ERA of 2.06, 1,300 strikeouts. But again, 3 Fingers Brown, right up my alley.
Yeah.
Webby, take it from here.
All right. Okay. Robbie might know the manufacturer of that card right there.
Wasn't that a Bowman series?
Yeah, it's a Bowman card.
Yeah.
Believe.
Good God. Way to go, guys.
This is Earl Torgeson. And I got to admit, when I saw this card flipping through the book the other day, I go, oh my God, that's Marty. So I had to read a little bit about Earl. Okay. On the card, he's shown as a member of the Philadelphia Phillies. And this is the writer's response about Earl. Earl Torgeson's two favorite activities were fist fighting and breaking his shoulder, both of which he did whenever he got the chance. On the back of this card, it says, quote, Torgy likes a good practical joke, which is the writer's subtle way of suggesting that he enjoyed knocking people's teeth out.
Wow.
Side note, and Marty, this is what you can aspire to. He is probably also the only left-handed hitting first baseman over 6'2" who ever stole 20 bases in one season.
I think that record's safe with me.
Now think about that.
Yeah, it is. That's pretty damn good.
Do you know of any left-handers over 6'2" that played first base and stole 20 bases? I can't think of any. I'm guessing
that's
there's
pretty
one
good.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't.
But wow.
Wow.
So anyway,
That's
Earl
pretty good.
Torgeson is my pick. He is Marty Brown light.
Oh.
Or Marty Brown fast.
Slide it a second, jump up and punch the shortstop right in the face. Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is Marty Brown Earl Torgeson heavy?
And you wonder why I drink. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Tara?
All right. Number we're at number two.
Two.
Number two. How about this guy?
Yeah, he's pretty good, wasn't he?
I also grew up.
Oh, I know that guy. Wait.
I
He's on
also
the
grew
Oh,
up
wait.
with him.
Hold on. I know that guy.
You know, Howard Mays. I mean, he's in the number one of the All-Star outfield. Hall of Fame, 1979. Willie Mays is Willie Mays, and you know what? There's no baseball card that has the catch, but we still wanted to emulate him. He's a great role model for us when we were kids.
Yep.
Good old Willie Mays.
Well, guess what? There is a card that emulates the catch.
Is it
Robbie?
actual,
I think it's a 1962 card.
Is it a photograph or a?
It's
like
it's a
Great
photograph.
World Series moments card.
Oh
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh,
is
all
it
right.
black? Is it black and white?
No, it's
Yeah.
color.
No kidding.
They colorized the photo. I think they airbrushed it, like
Okay.
the Satchel Paige card
I
Rob
see.
spoke about earlier.
And did his hat come off in that catch? I think
Yes.
so.
When he threw the
Yes.
When he
Yeah.
spun to turn
he spun to turn. Yeah,
and
throw it back.
make that
yeah.
throw.
So our friend Kim R, who plays with us in our league, she has a cap that's way too small, and I says, and I help out with equipment. And I says, you know what, Kim, I can help you get a cap that fits you better. She goes, oh no, I want it to fall off like Willie. I'm like,
Just like Willie.
I get it.
Willie.
I get it. All right, Robbie, how about you?
Yeah, I'm ready to go with this. This was a fun player. This guy, he was a giant. You know, we're pretty giant centric, but he was known as a giant or became famous as a giant. Moved around with a couple other teams, and he was consistently solid. Played great defense. Real funny, high strung, live wire act, but always happy and jumpy and edgy. I think several of us here on the call have had a chance to meet him, and this guy is the only guy I ever knew, and I love this card because of it, that could pull off wearing a headband outside of his head around his hat with his name written on it. So, and I always love, this was the best encapsulation of Tito Fuentes with the Tito headband on his Padres hat.
Wow.
There's something so memorable about that card, and you know, he's the guy that goes up and throws the bat with the handle, bounces off the plate and flips a couple times, and he grabs it and goes into his stance. And
Again,
everything about the guy was flair and color.
I emulated that one too when
Yeah.
I was a kid.
And The funny thing is, as I looked at the card again today, he's got the batting glove on the backhand.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that old Tito. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
That's my number 2.
Okay.
That's good.
All right. I think we got through the second round, correct?
Yep.
We did.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we should play in the date night crew.
Oh, yeah,
checked
okay.
in.
All right.
Here you go. Here's date night at the Shanks.
Thanks for entertaining us during date night. We always enjoy listening to the boys from Highlights and the Lowlife comments. Keep it going.
So
You know what?
So
When we were
Thanks,
talking
James.
about,
I'm a little upset here.
oh,
Carl was looking for the right word, and he was told what the word was. It was boys. Why can't it be men? The men from Highlights from Lowlifes. Yeah, come on.
you know, when we were talking about 6'2" first baseman, I thought about the Babe Shanks, and then there was the stolen base thing, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, so you had to
Sorry, babe.
stop that one. All right, Robbie, send us into round 1.
Oh, you don't want to talk about mic'd up at all?
Do that a little bit at the end.
Okay. Round 1. Let's start with the Tiger.
All right. I was pulling up the card for my number 1. You know, number 1, number 32 on the all-time shortstop list, Dagberto. Campy Campaneris.
Yes.
I absolutely grew up with him and wanted to be like him. And man, he's from Cuba. He's an awesome guy. I never got to meet him. He goes to A's fantasy camp, so I haven't been able to meet him yet, nor have I seen him at a spring training game. He hasn't sat on the table yet. We've seen lots of them, lots of guys. Who are the former players that we see on the table at the spring training games? Gosh, I'm blank.
On the table?
Oh, you mean
Yeah,
are you talking about the guys that are there to raise money?
yeah.
Oh, they don't do that anymore. But yes,
Oh, really? They
that
don't?
was a group that
It's
was
funny.
organized by Fergie Jenkins.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Fergie Jenkins.
we had Daryl Evans used to
Raleigh
do that.
Fingers,
Raleigh Fingers.
Daryl Evans. Yeah.
I remember they had Meadowlark Lemon would show up every once in a
You're
while. He'd
kidding.
sign
Wow.
basketballs.
Wow.
Really? Anyway, here I'm trying to find a baseball card that I actually had, and it could have been simply this one.
Yeah.
Just him that posed,
Mhm.
and I really loved his play, and I was in high school, probably a freshman or sophomore, during the World Series when the A's were in it, the 3 years that they were in it in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember in the boys' locker room, the coaches had the game on during the day. We watched it on a black and white television with antennas sticking up, and we're looking. Remember in the old boys' locker rooms, they had the big glass windows, and the coaches could slide it open and throw towels out there at you. And so we were standing watching the game at the end of PE class, watching the World Series game. It was really fun. Campy Campaneris was my favorite.
Excellent.
All right.
I remember they had it on in our school. They had it on in the library, and it was a strange time because no one really cared if you showed up to class or not. You were in the library, so you kind of got away with it. I'm in the library, okay.
Yeah, good excuse.
Yeah.
Campy came over with the Kansas City A's and then played for Oakland also.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, all right, that's my number 1. Marty, how about you?
I like I said, I mentioned before. The last two are going to be kind of personal. So here's the three fingers. Thank you very much. But the number one card is me.
Marty Brown.
Marty
Yeah,
Brown.
there he is.
There he is, laughing it. Yeah.
That looks like a 6'2" first baseman that could steal some bases. Oh, but he's right-handed. Oh,
He's right-handed. Marty Brown was an infielder. They came up to the Cincinnati Reds in the late '80s, and I was working for in San Francisco with Merrill at the time. And this again, I'm sorry, guys. Thanks to the old school, we get the sporting green, and we would a bunch of us we would go through it, and there was in the transactions there was Marty Brown being called up to Cincinnati, and I literally took that to the boss and said, I got to leave.
I gotta go.
I gotta go. And she kind of believed it for about 2 seconds.
I had no idea.
Yeah. But there he was, Marty Brown. He was with the Reds, and then he was a year with the Orioles, and then he found success of all places in Japan with the Pacific League. Came back and became a manager. It was a AAA manager with both with Nashville and with Vegas when they were the what were they? 51s. That's what it was. The Vegas 51s. The Vegas 51s. So there it is. Me.
Excellent.
Okay. Mr. Barber, go for it.
Okay. Again, I'm staying with my favorite book of all time. Robbie's going to remember this. This is why I thought these guys were such great writers. Here's a picture of Foster Castleman.
Okay.
Dare I
Basement
say
Baltimore Orioles. He was kind of a backup to Brooks Robinson, bench guy. But the writers, they took him to a different level. Foster Castleman. Of course, a ball player with a name like this is never going to amount to anything. If you have a name like an orthodontist, you're going to play like an orthodontist. The guy never really had a shot. I mean, where's the chance for a colorful nickname here? Like Foster Night Train Castleman or Foster Big Daddy Castleman. Not on your life. A center fielder by the name of Wolfgang Amadeus DiMaggio stands out about as much chance in at least in the possible world as a concert pianist named Peanuts Rubenstein. Parents, please, if you want your kid to be good in sports, don't name them Foster. If you want your kid to grow up to be a jock, you can't call him something like Sinclair. Sinclair is either a right-wing secretary of commerce or a novelist with acne. If you take my advice, you'll call your kid Brick. Nobody named Brick ever had to take anything from anyone. All right, Robbie, what do you got?
All right. I always loved this card long before I knew the man. It's another one of those cards with multiple people in the picture, and it's an action shot. It's from the 1974 set. But there's so much happening in this picture. It's really fun. This is, of course, the Sarge, Gary Matthews.
Yes.
Sliding into third base at Old Shea Stadium against the New York Mets with number 11, that's third baseman Wayne Garrett, doing nothing but about, if you look really closely, Sarge has scooped up enough dirt that Garrett's going to have to take his shoe off and empty it out. And John McNamara apparently thinks it's funny as hell because he's clapping big time there. As,
Yay.
Sarge, but Sarge has lost his. We talked about the hat flying off. He's lost his helmet. The afro is bouncing up and down as he makes his way into third base, and that's kind of an iconic picture that turns out whenever like he wrote a book, that picture showed up in there without the actual baseball card piece. They show it on TV all the time when he was broadcasting with the Phillies. They'd bring that one up all the time and have a good laugh. It's such an iconic card that I remember and loved as a kid, and then actually knowing him now in life has just been awesome. So it's
Oh, yeah.
that's a real
Yeah.
fun one. It's personal, but it's also funny as heck.
There it
Oh,
is.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, thanks, guys, for putting this together. Sometime in the near future, we will have a couple of baseball card aficionados on this show.
Ooh.
Our friends Mike Weir and Jim Nelson
Doughboy.
they are weathered collectors. They've been doing this for a long time. They know the hobby inside and out. They each have their different quirks as far as what they collect. Mike is a big collector of Tony Gwynn items, and he has some very unique things. Jim is a big collector of sets. He's trying to complete a lot of different sets, and they go to the National every year, which is in a different city, where they learn all about what's hot in the market. Those of you who thought your 1980s and 90s baseball cards were throwaways, that's changing. Those cards are becoming popular again, and there might be some value in them. So hold on.
You mean
We'll
you
have
mean
them.
like the Terry Lee card I got from
Yeah, the Terry Lee card. Yeah, that's going to be worth a lot. Another failed Reds minor leaguer.
Doughboy gave me this last year.
Next week on the show, we are going to have Jason Wood on from Romantic About Baseball. He's going to tell us
Terrific.
a little bit about our kind of an enclave of baseball podcasts that have gotten together under one umbrella. Highlights from Lowlifes is part of this now, and we are all going to be talking to Jason, learning what his goals are for the organization, which is mostly about having fun and talking baseball. But we'll have him on the show and get to hear a little bit about him. We have a few more guests planned as well. To talk a little bit about micdup just for a second. If you have been watching the platform for the last several days, it appears that Yankees Coast to Coast is doing a show after every single Yankees game to talk about the greatness that we are beholding. It is fun to see these guys excited, because I gotta say they were very, very unhappy with the offseason. I don't know how they feel now, but I don't think the Yankees have lost yet. I think they are undefeated after sweeping through the Giants and taking on the Mariners next. So take a look. If the Yankees have a game, it's likely that Mike and Adam will be having a show shortly thereafter. AJ Rovner and Steve Shinamako will be on tomorrow with an episode of the Rovner Report, talking Mets and Yankees. And there are several college shows going on the network now. One about the Indiana Hoosiers, one about the Georgia Bulldogs. So keep an eye out for what's coming up on the network. And tune in next Wednesday at 6 o'clock to see our show with Jason Wood. Terry, was you were going to show us another picture?
Yeah,
of Terry Lee?
I've got an honorable mention here.
All right. Oh, look at that guy. Yeah, I got to dig up my 1994. I have a really good mullet going. So.
Very nice. I also just got a memory of me, Steve Bennett, and and Brian Lair
Lair.
in a
Mhm.
photograph 16 years ago.
Yep. Back
Yep.
in our playing days.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Steve Bennett, we still miss you.
Amen.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got
right.
one honorable mention too before you
Sure.
close this out.
Go for it.
So the cards I had on my list tonight were all cards I constrained myself to cards that I have currently own. But this is the one that's been a quest card for me. I have been looking for this card for it feels like a lifetime. And again, another one where the colors really jump off the page. Everything about it just screams baseball, and of course that would be the Rabbit Moranville with the Boston Braves. There's a lot to unpack here because he's clearly clowning for the portrait with the hat all spun around. The Braves name has a chief instead of a brave,
Yeah.
and then the pilgrim hat on the sleeve for the
Yeah.
Boston Braves.
Pilgrim hat?
Seemingly a lot happening here for
Yeah.
just one little baseball card with no action happening.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, Robbie, question for you. So,
Yes.
So Rabbit played for the Boston Braves.
Yes.
What years?
He played in the teens. He was the mainstay behind their 1914 World Series win.
And he left the Boston Braves at what point?
I want to say it was 1919.
Okay,
It was kind of overshadowed by the whole Babe Ruth thing, but otherwise it would have been the biggest news in baseball at the time.
1919, Webby, you remember? You were there.
No.
I was there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right,
Who's
Terry.
on-
I was
who's
delivered
on
by
first?
Dr. Marty Brown.
Old forceps, they called him.
Hey, this was a lot of fun, you guys. In the future, we'll have some video on Mic'd Up, and we'll be able to just pop a baseball card up for you to see easily. But the phones seem to work pretty well, so that was all right.
We did.
Yeah.
I tried
All right.
earlier with the actual cards, and it just didn't light up enough.
Yeah, the phone worked great.
Yep.
So, hey, thank you, Almanac. Thank you, Mic'd Up, and thank you, Carl and Gail Shanks, for being our audience this evening. Really want to spend some time. I think the four of us will get together after this show, and we'll put together a list of date night ideas for you.
Anything's got to be better than this.
All right, Robbie, play us out.